Right. Fat guy's back. Take two. I had already screwed up doing this video once. Well, I didn't screw up. I think I got like most of the way through. And my camera decided it didn't want to hold on to any more video. So, Southern Comfort and Eggnog. Do yourself a favor and do it. Like I said, this is the second try. So this is my second one. So we are, yeah, I'm going to be just as surprised as you are as this turns out. So, what I have here is the Taiker that brand of, what did it say? Comprehensive survival kit or some crap like that. This thing. It came in a box. I put it in a bag. Now, look at the yeah, what it has on there. See this, this here, that, yeah, that's a flashlight. That's a flashlight too. Check out the paracord. Doesn't that look like a nice big chunk of paracord? Pin, whatnot. So let's actually see what we get in this kit, because when I took this apart the first time, some of these components look a little off. Let me carefully set this somewhere. Alright. So, let's do this again. Some of these things are going to be pre-activated because, well, I did this all before. We have one of these things, and it's so badly designed. I don't know if the camera's picking that up well or not, but the edge isn't even finished or sharpened. Those are still burrs, which will ironically probably cut better than the edge. You know, that goes in the pile of stuff you usually get in these kind of kits. Fishing kit, seen plenty of times. Wire saw. I could probably use those as party favors right now. A whistle that I'm not going to test because I have a roommate asleep upstairs. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I've been working some weird ass shifts. We got a bellow. That, take or leave it. It does come in some kits, but not a lot. I just don't see why. You could have easily done something with that. With that space. We have a multi-tool that really kind of screws with your head a bit. Not just because I'm drunk. See these things? This little cutout here? To me, that makes me think that there is something there. And there's not. So we got file. The dullest aug I've ever seen. Dullest aug. Weird thing to say. We got a can opener. I've never ever opened a can with one of these, I don't think. May have. But I can't think of any time I have. Just because it just seems so useless. And screwdriver. On to the next area. We got a serrated, I'm assuming meant to be a saw, but it is a serrated knife. The teeniest multi-tool Phillips head I've ever seen. The most high quality knife ever. And a bottle opener with another flathead on it. It is kind of cool that it comes with its own carrying case though. That's kind of interesting. One thing I should get out of here is the first aid kit. I put it on the outside because really, if you got a pack, your first aid kit should be on the outside. Should be the most easily accessible thing you can get to in your pack. It looks like we got some bandages, tape, Band-Aid bandages, Q-tips, more Band-Aids, alcohol swabs, gauze, Band-Aids, a lot more swabs. Oh no, those are iodine, and those are alcohol. Woohoo! Some cheap tweezers. And when I mean cheap tweezers, I mean not just because they're plastic. Cheap. Safety pins. What the hell? Be careful what you pay for sometimes, guys. And a tourniquet. Just out of curiosity, how long is said tourniquet? Could it even get around my arm? Yeah, that would have a hard time doing so. This first aid kit as it sits would do me very, very little. Although it does have enough bandages, so, you know, it does compensate for me being a clumsy ass, not a lazy ass. Nothing compensates for that. Alright. Hold on. Right. This is one thing that kind of got me interested in reviewing this one. It comes with a hatchet. Well, it claims it to be a hatchet. Take off the Velcro there. And we see we have a very thin wannabe hatchet. That may be a tapered point there, but it's not got much of a breaking edge on it. But also, check it out. That would be where the tang ends, somewhere around here. So, how good do you think this would be good at wood processing? It has no weight at the head. The handle is heavier than the head. And the breaking point is right here. If you're putting together a bug out bag, I would suggest putting together one yourself. However, simple little kits can get you the cute little things that you may need to rely on, like a whistle and ferro rod and such. Speaking of which, forgot to show you the ferro rod this thing came with. Looks weird, huh? Because that too is a catfish. That's the ferro rod it comes with. Not the nice thick one it looked like it came with. That is horrendous. And the more alcohol I drink and the more I look at these, I realize how bad of a kit this really is. Although we got one shining example here, we have some pretty good knit gloves. These would get you by for some things. Being this stuff, the cotton, may actually keep your hands a little bit on the warm side, you know, in like early fall. But check out right here, Starfleet Delta. Alright. We have this thing, which runs on AAA batteries. Guess what it doesn't include? A way to hold batteries in. Has no batteries. So, buy this kit, take it out in the field, you ain't got crap for illumination. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the all-encompassing survival kit manual. Which I guess is kind of interesting to have. I mean, interesting, good to have. So you know what you have and what you're going to need. Now, this I already broke on the first one, just to see if it worked, because a lot of these come out, I've broken a few of these when I thought I needed them, and they didn't work. So, yeah, when it comes to these little decorative boys, they should really put expiration dates on them. These seem to be glowing okay, but yeah, there's really not much to them. We have this thing, which is more charged up than its lantern counterpart. Although they're both nice and pretty blue. We have a knife. So we have a spring-assisted knife with, I don't know, holy crap! It has a semi-decent edge. Okay. Now, a little bit of wobble, not a lot. Spring assisted, so that's one part that's going to eventually go out on you. Probably like the 5th time you have it out in the field, or the first time you actually need it. We've got a partially serrated edge, which is supposed to be an advantage, but it's really not. Liner lock. Belt clip, so you don't necessarily need a sheath for this one. Glass breaker, because out in the wilderness they're expecting you to run into a lot of glass. And well, seatbelt cutter. So the knife, given the fact that it's so cheap that they didn't even put a brand name on it, I was surprised it had that good of an edge on it. Might be a somewhat decent EDC knife or something. Something to fall back on, keep in the car or something, but definitely not something you want in a survival situation. Blanket. You've seen one of them, you've seen them all. Remember our paracord? This is not paracord. This is some crap. Ow. Douchebag. This is something pretending to be paracord, which I do have to give them a teensy ounce of credit. At least it's not like some nylon cord that's just in there. At least you have a few strands of cord you can use for something else if need be. Granted, there's not a lot you can do with it. And it's not even tender. I melted a little bit of it earlier just to prove that fact. We have an eating tool. Spoon, fork. I don't know why sporks are just so hard to come by. Why would we have to go this intricate? And butter knife, which looks like it could hold an edge if need be. Oh, I think I'm telling on myself now. I'm not sure what this thing is. Oh, triangular bandage. Well, now I'm sure. A belt holder for a bottle. Check that out. So once it's on there, it'll hold your drink in place. So say I need to keep my survival lemon juice on me. As you do. Clips to your belt or something. You can carry that with you. Looks stupid. Very beneficial in a lot of ways. Because, yes, you have the mesh pockets on your bag here. But one, that bag is tiny. But two, this gives you another alternate way of carrying water, which is essential in survival situations. Get these two things out of the way. We have a poncho, which I've never seen one come in this big of a package before. And we have an emergency tent. An emergency shelter. Yeah. You may want to limit those things, guys. Hold on. Put this back. Alright, went out of frame. Anyway, emergency shelter. This is not much better than the thermal blanket, except bigger. I mean, look at that. Even lets draft in and whatnot. This thing's kind of pointless. I'm going to be experimenting with better ideas for portable shelters that don't cost a lot. So, hopefully if you hang out with me that long, you might learn something. I'm still hoping to find batteries in this thing, to tell you the truth. Paracord bracelet. Now, the thing about paracord bracelets that come, that come in these things, one, you know they're pre-made in China, but two, 550 paracord is meant to hold up to 550 pounds. If you get crappy paracord, one, it may not hold up to as much, but two, it just may be crappy cord in general. So when you get something like this, there we go. Let's untangle this a little bit and see exactly what we're working with here. Let's get a cleaner cut here. Sheesh. Alright. So we got something that's supposed to be imitating paracord, but as you can see, this is just light nylon put together. I have no idea what the tensile strength of this is, or the test strength, but it's nowhere near what it's supposed to be. However, it is one of these guys with this thing in it, the striker, which means this is a better ferro rod than what you got there. And this is a better compass than what you get there. Although now I'm beginning to question that assumption, because this is what you get there. I'm guessing that's north. Because that's what this says. But this one behaves a little better. Neither one are ones that I trust too much, because this one's listing a little bit. East Main, or East, living on East Main Street, East is that way. So I mean, you know, it's a little off. Of course, I could be a little off. Thanks to this stuff, I could be a lot off. But so I'm not sure if I trust this or not. And we got gloves. Oh, hey, what do you know? I thought we got one in here. Tactical pen. Now, the thing about these is, one, oh, that's not nearly as aggressive as some I've had in the past. Some of them have actually poked me and stabbed me when I was touching them. So that glass breaker isn't nearly as hard as some of them. And I have tons of refills laying around here because this mechanism is always the failure point for me. Something sticks and it no longer wants to retract correctly. And no matter how hard you try and fix it, the thing messes up. So let's see what all this thing is supposed to... Oh yeah. Also, we have 2 Carabiners here with locks. None of them feel the greatest quality. The bag itself doesn't feel the greatest quality. Oh, okay. So I'm guessing that's for your tools. Huh. Well, I guess let's take a look at the bag a little bit. Kind of cool. It has its logo in the top here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, there we go. And it's got one pocket right here. 2 mesh sides. And may fit your child. Anyway, all that aside. you notice, the box had a flashlight on it. We kind of got screwed out of our flashlight. We got catfished on our paracord. And I know they update these things and stuff. Does that work? Looks like you're supposed to be able to get this thing apart. Alright. Rotate out the fork, push down, and separate the fork. Oh, okay. So you do have an actual set here. That's kind of cool. I guess that little thing came in handy. Anyway, would I suggest getting this kit? No. I believe I just wasted 42 bucks. None of the components are really that great of quality. Knife is the only thing with a decent edge to it. Hell, I wouldn't even want that bag out in the wild with me. However, I would not want to let this video go out without at least giving this thing a fair test. I'm not sure how powerful these are. I had to take them out of a different lantern I had. And they may be a couple years old. You know what? Am I seeing? Holy shit. It takes AA batteries. What the